We have always considered foxes and dogs to be natural enemies. But have you ever wondered, can a fox and a dog actually live together? Can they become companions, or will they always treat each other as rivals? Recently, an unusual incident has been observed in Bangladesh, where a fox and several dogs were seen living and moving together in the same area for a long time. Not only that, they seem to have accepted each other as part of the same group. They roam together, rest in the same places, and even share their surroundings without conflict. But how is this even possible? Why would two animals, usually seen as competitors or even enemies, suddenly coexist peacefully? Is there a scientific explanation behind this behavior? And most importantly, if a fox and a dog live together for a long time, is there any possibility of a hybrid or mixed species being born? Let's try to understand this from a scientific and biological perspective. First, we need to understand how closely related foxes and dogs actually are. Both foxes and dogs belong to the Canidae family, which also includes wolves, coyotes, and several other wild and domestic species. However, dogs are among the most social animals on Earth. After thousands of years of domestication alongside humans, dogs have developed strong abilities for cooperation, group behavior, and social bonding. A dog often observes its surroundings and may accept other animals as long as they do not pose a direct threat. On the other hand, foxes are generally solitary and highly cautious animals. They are intelligent, quick decision makers, and prefer to avoid unnecessary conflict. When their natural habitat is reduced or food becomes scarce, foxes often move closer to human settlements. So the question is, why would a fox start living with dogs? One possible reason is food availability. When food sources are shared and competition is low, animals may choose coexistence instead of conflict. Another reason is safety. Living in a group can reduce the risk of danger from predators or other threats. For a lone fox, staying near a group of dogs can sometimes provide a sense of security. A third important reason is behavioral adaptation. If a fox grows up around dogs from an early age, it may not see them as enemies. Instead, it can become familiar with their presence. In animal behavior science, this is known as social habituation. Now comes the most interesting question: can foxes and dogs produce a hybrid species if they live together? Scientifically, the answer is almost certainly no. Although foxes and dogs belong to the same Canidae family, there are significant genetic differences between them. One of the major factors is chromosome compatibility. Dogs have 78 chromosomes, while fox species have different chromosome counts that do not match in a way that allows successful interbreeding. For a hybrid species to be formed, the genetic structure and chromosome compatibility must be very close. In the case of foxes and dogs, this compatibility is not sufficient. So, their coexistence does not lead to any new hybrid species. It is simply an example of unusual but natural behavioral adaptation. Another important factor behind such events is environmental change. Due to deforestation, urban expansion, and shrinking natural habitats, many wild animals are now forced to live closer to human settlements. As a result, species that rarely interacted in the past are now sharing the same space. This is likely why we are seeing such rare but fascinating interactions between animals like foxes and dogs. This incident teaches us an important lesson. Nature is far more flexible and complex than we often assume. When conditions change, animal behavior can also change dramatically. So the question remains, are these animals simply adapting to circumstances, or is there more social intelligence in them than we usually believe? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you like our video, please like, comment and subscribe my channel. Goodbye, take care.